top of the world, about to jump above it. Take it straight to the moon, 'cause we know how to rock it. Ain't no thing you can do, ain't no way to stop it. Now you're feeling it too, let's get it started. Throw your hands in the air while the beat is dropping. Acting like you don't care when everybody's watching. Just keep whipping your hair like that, you got it. Yeah, you're feeling it too, let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Charts off the meter, turn it up, blow the speakers, make them all to believers, break through the surface, tell them open the curtains, give them all what they wanted, yeah, now let's get started. Let's get it, get it. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? I'm ready. Let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it, get it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Give me something new. Time to break loose. Take it to another level. Now we on the move. Shout if you coming with me. Going over the limit. On your mark, keep it steady. So tell me, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to, of course, coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Thursday night, you're home for sim racing, iRacing on LSRTV. I am Wesley Outland. Samuel Dyer is alongside, and Samuel, Richmond Raceway, first short track race of the year. We've got that coming up here with the Cup cars next Monday night. But, of course, for tonight, we have got them on the truck, Season 9. What do you think we're going to see here coming up this evening, my friend?
Well, I mean, after last week's just explosion of a finale where John Otbacher got the win, I think there might be some drivers that are going to be wanting maybe a little bit of payback. And that's what short track racing can give you, is drivers being on top of one another. You got your heartbreaking zones trying to find your true speed. But here tonight, you got 140 laps to find where you want to be placing yourself. And I'm excited to see who's going to be bumping with who's going to be trying to get a little bit of retaliation, and who comes away with a win and a comeback after last week's, probably for some, not the way they wanted it to go.
Yeah, I think as well. Obviously, got to give props, Samuel, to John Ottenbacher. All the problems he's had for the last couple of seasons. It was 2 years ago when he won the opening race at Daytona in the trucks. And mind you, what wild races we saw in the finish for the Northwest drivers of the Pacific Northwest in the trucks and the Cup Series. It did not disappoint. The Atlanta race for this past Monday night did not disappoint. Caden Anderson picking up the win. And now what these truck drivers can do. And Samuel, we remember last year when Caden Anderson was probably one of the top dogs in the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Could we see him sweep Atlanta and Richmond tonight for the week?
It's really likely. I mean, we're coming to a short track, and that's where we've seen Caden Anderson really thrive. Yes, he can be fast at all the courses we come to, but when I think of Caden Anderson, I think of short track dominance. And that's usually where the 37 finds his maximum speed, but also look at some of the other drivers that are going to be here. I mean, Dan West Jr. is also going to be a name to be talking about. That 55 has found ways at short tracks as well to have a little bit of extra speed. I think those two are going to be the ones to watch out for. And also for Caden Anderson, you also got to also think about Cole Raz. That 10, it's got some speed as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, just like Samuel, my colleague, is doing, I'm going to do it myself. You guys better batten up the hatches, button them up tight, and get ready for a race here tonight, because it's going to be a fun one here at Richmond Raceway. Samuel, Richmond last week, Daytona, who were some drivers, things that me and Justin is talking. See, I can't do what you do. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Necktie, fine. Button up shirt, I just can't do it. But no, I digress. who are some drivers, Samuel, that you think we should keep an eye on, our viewers and listeners should keep an eye on? Because, yes, we're also simulcasting on the Community Radio Network as well as on LSRTV. That has really turned some heads since last week.
I mean, I'm excited to see what Dennis Moore is going to have. That 44, I mean, they just seem to be evolving each and every. I mean, you think about last season, Dennis Moore hopping in with Beaver State Racing and just elevated that team to all make it practically almost every single driver making the playoffs and really being successful in the playoffs. I think with a new season coming back to away from the wild card of Daytona to actual racing, I got to say, Beaver State Racing, that's probably a team I'm excited to watch of who's got some speed there. Some other drivers, just based off of qualifying, Ryan Bloom. I mean, he was very fast in the ARCA series last year, and he also come into this season. He's another driver that just, when it comes to qualifying speed, that 25 is always finds himself up in the top 5.
They just said when we come back, we're going to on-track activity. We look at the point standings. We take you through the qualifying field, and we get ready for an exciting 140 laps. Hashtag more short tracks tonight on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. We're back for more West Truck Series in a moment.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series from Richmond Raceway, high above. Wow, we're way up in the air tonight, ain't we, Samuel? Look at that drone view.
Hey,
Qualifying is about to get started. What'd you say, buddy?
Hey, we just want to see the whole entire track. That's why we're this high.
I was about to say, it's not the drone view, it's the blimp view. And now we go back to on-track activity, and we kick it off with the driver that is the defending Northwest iRacing Cup Series champion, Chris White in the number 6 machine. He'll be the guy to set the bar here in qualifying as it's on track now, Samuel.
Yeah, already have seen some drivers put to sometimes down, and everyone is chasing currently is Caden Anderson, who has put down a 21.546 lap time. So everyone's trying to put down a 21.5. No one else has touched that fast of a lap as Chris White is done. And here's Kevin Smith going to be riding a little bit higher in. This is what tonight at Richmond's going to give us. Drivers have found there's grit on both the inside and the outside lane. We're going to be seeing that a lot here tonight, primarily into turn 1. It's get low, get as close to that yellow line. And then that's the exit of 3 and 4, where we could see some variations on when they get more tire wear, where drivers want to go as Smith is 4/10 off.
West Coast RV, click it in 400 from Hermiston, Washington. And Jags on the side of the truck as well. That Ford coming across the line, 21.682. 21.682 seconds for Hermiston, Washington. Kevin Smith right now. Caden Anderson, as Samuel, my colleague, reiterated on 21.62 to a 21.67 by, ironically, also the first 2 winners of the Cup season. Colraz had a disappointing night at Atlanta on Monday, but wants to turn it around here tonight. But again, those are the 2 most recent winners. And Samuel, we also know they're very good friends.
They're very good friends. They always seem to be working with one another. It's really well known and documented here on LSRTV of last season, the controversy that arose between those two, Kane Anderson and Cole Raz, when we got to the later half of the season. They're hoping that they can clean that up and they just show that they've got their pure speed. And see that of Kevin Smith going into pit road. And I'm just excited, Wesley. I mean, this is a difference between last season and this season. Last season, both the Cup and the Truck ran very similar. We're running the same races the whole entire week. We're now changing it up. We got Atlanta and then Richmond changing it up for these drivers. I love the fact that we're kind of putting a little bit of variety on how these drivers have to train each week.
Yeah, it wasn't like preparing for Atlanta 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, Daytona, obviously, right out of the gate, you're going to do the Cup and the Trucks as well. But for this second week, Atlanta and then Richmond, and the next week they flip-flop them again, and I like it. So here comes Ryan Bloom. He is your 2021 ARCA Northwest champion. And we'll see what the 25 can do here on the clock, obviously, right now. Caden Anderson, fast qualifier, 21.62. Cole Raz, Kevin Smith, Casey Garber, Dan West Jr., defending two-time Truck Series champion of the top 5. And how about this, Sammy D? Almost 40 entries here tonight, ready to go at Richmond.
Love the fact that all the drivers that were trying to make it in from Daytona, a couple are saying, hey, let's stick this thing out. Let's see how many more races we can make as Ryan Bloom coming off shy, only going to be able to get up to 4th on the board. And that is just showing there is a lot of speed out there on track. But you got to figure out how to beat Caden Anderson, who is still our pole sitter at the moment.
It looks like qualifying about in the books here, about done. Real quickly, let's take a look at your race 411, bottom left of the monitor, presented by LSRTV. Well, practice is done. Qualifying is done. We're about to go 140 laps around this 3/4 mile racetrack here at the Richmond Raceway. This 3/4 mile racetrack here, 3/4 of a mile, the old Richmond, Virginia Fairgrounds in the capital of the Commonwealth state. To the bottom right of the monitor, the ML Performance weather conditions, 69 for the air temp, 70 degrees track temp, very identical on sim time and weather. Samuel, 6 mile per hour, 5 mile per hour wind speed, partly cloudy skies. The sun's poking through, it's poking back out. This will be a daytime race, and obviously it's going to be different than what we had at Daytona at night last week as well.
Yeah, with it being daytime, there's always the opportunity of the track getting heat up a little bit more, but that is a very cold track compared to what we usually see at other courses. With it being 70 degrees track temp, that's going to be really nice on these drivers' tire wear. It's going to be allowing the drivers to be a little bit more aggressive on these early portions and not feel like they're really tearing up their tires for the long run, which is going to be giving us some great racing, I think, in the early portions of this race. But those first 1 to 2 laps, you always are going to have to be careful of the cold tires, and especially out of the corners of turn 4 and turn 2. Getting loose out of the corners after getting in the throttle too soon, that is going to be a factor all night long, even though we're here in the daytime.
Hey, and by the way, if we couldn't get more exciting tonight with round 2 at Richmond, guess where round 3 next week is going to be? It is going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway, the dirt race. Race 3 of the season on points, Samuel, is going to be the dirt track race at Bristol. Man, Katie barred the door. That's going to be fun. Las Vegas, Dover, all on the way before the Easter break.
Oh, I'm so excited to watch that. I'm on the edge if I'm going to still be in the booth for that race or not. But even if I'm not, I'm just excited to be a fan to watch that. Excited to see dirt track racing again, and especially for these trucks, it's an unknown of who's going to be the fastest one out there. I think Devin West is going to be the odds-on favorite, but for tonight, oh, man, I think that of Caden Anderson for sure is the favorite here.
The field is beginning to grid. John Ottenbacher, the points leader, obviously. Cameron Iverson is back, 2 points back. Then it's a tie for 3rd and 4th between Bryce Clark, Cole Raz, Robert Gamble, 5th, Tyler King, Dylan Huff, Hines Ortega, Duval, and Hunter, your top 10 after Daytona. Now, with that being said, winner at Atlanta on Tuesday. The starting lineup here at Richmond will find Caden Anderson on the pole, Cole Raz, row 1. Row number 2, we'll find Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom. Row number 3, it's going to be Casey Garber and Dan West Jr., defending Truck Series champion 2 years in a row. Row 4 is Dennis Moore in 44, Dan Lowther in 63. Row number 5 on the grid, Jeff Stabnow, James Viney, the Catman, your top 10. Row number 6 is going to be Toby Ritter's Clifford, the Cup Series champion of last year, Chris White. Row 7 on the grid, Carl Burke in 53, the legend, Paul Newton in 81. Row number 8 tonight, Sean Brightsman, a former Cup Series champion. Troy Daggett at 51 as well. Row number 9, Cameron Iverson in 65, Dean Moore in 33, and to round out your top 20, Samuel Dyer, Aaron Cooper, a runner-up finish the other week ago in the Cup race at Daytona, and Ron Hunter in 22.
Then in 21st position, starting out row number 11, we find Angel Ortega going to be on the inside with Stephen O'Hare in the 41 to the outside for row 11. Row 12, we find our Daytona winner there of John Ottbacher in the 89 with also that of Brett Rittery going to be in that 87 machine. In row number 13, it's going to be Frank Harris and as well that of Brian Reynolds in the 12. Row number 14 is going to be finding us with Tyler King and also BJ Duvall. Will Duvall's going to try to go for a good run. He's shown that he can be quick at short tracks. In row number 15, we find that of Brett Johnson as well as that of Vinnie McDonald in the 43. Row 16 finds that of Robert Campbell as well as that of Aaron Cox in the 19 machine with that of Dana Rogers as well as that of Tyler Kim in the 30 position. Final couple of rows going to be that of Chris Kynes in the 713 as well as Roy Grande in the 18th position. And then we've got that of David Applegreen as well as Bryce Clark. Finishing out our last row, we find that of BJ Tidrick as well, Ray Forner in the 26th. And as well, finishing out shotgun, it's Scott Hutchinson in the 91.
How about this, Samuel? 2 weeks in a row, we had over 40-plus cars, 41 to be exact, will now take the green flag here tonight at Richmond Raceway. They're going to at least get one more preliminary lap before they take green. Richmond short track racing, but it can have its big intermediate moments, if you will, Samuel. This should be exciting to watch as these drivers right now checking their tack, checking their speed, making sure that they're not going to be going too fast. 1 to go indication being given this time by when they come to the start-finish line. And how about it? Caden Anderson, Cole Raz, the Cup winners of Northwest on Monday night, now settling on the front row as the lights are off and we go green this time by.
They certainly are going to have the speed for Cole Raz. I mean, he's shown that he can be fast, so showed that last season. Just didn't make enough races to make it into the playoffs. This is certainly going to be a tone setter type of a night. 3/4 of a mile here at Richmond. Progressive banking. And the drivers, it used to be the old builds here on iRacing, a one-lane grooved course. And we might see a couple of different lanes being utilized as the drivers get ready to go green.
And the thing we have to keep an eye on is obviously aggression level picking up the stretch, obviously, but maybe even at the beginning, the get-go. Pace car comes onto the pit lane. Round 2 at Richmond. Short track racing, the Northwest iRacing Truck Series comes to the line. Barney, your virtual iRacing flagman is ready, and we are as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race, and 41 screaming trucks send it off into turn number 2.
And it's going to be Caden Anderson out of turn 2, getting already a massive gap over that of 3/10, about 2 truck lengths over that of Cole Raz, but it's side-by-side racing for that of 3rd and 4th, as it's going to be Ryan Bloom stuck on the high line, but luckily found spacing. Anderson takes lap number 1. Yellow flag, Wesley.
Just as fast as this race gets started, caution's coming out. Just like Samuel, we're in it on, we got a stack up big parking lot over there in turn number 4. Looks like Carl Burke's involved. Oh my goodness, several trucks there, Samuel.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers.
Dana Rogers.
One of them facing the wrong way. That's going to be Will Duvall in 85. Let's take a pulse boppers instant replay, and I talked about it. The exit of turn 4. That is where drivers are going to be loose, especially on these cold tires. If you get into the throttle too soon, you can find yourself getting spun around. Look like this happened a little bit further ahead from the 07 as they're slowing down from the carnage.
Just can't seem to catch a break there, man. What a tough break there for Dana Rogers, Carl, obviously Will Duvall. Other trucks going, as you said, northbound and a southbound lane. Here he gets back rolling again, and we go extended now. Watch the 85, Will Duvall. That's the white truck inside the 7. They go 3 wide. This is next time around. Watch this.
I mean,
oh, my goodness, wow.
They were already scattering even before that. I mean, just showing everyone was not prepared, and 3 wide at Richmond, never a good sign to see, but drivers already ahead. I mean, Wesley, just showing Richmond this could be a long night if drivers are getting that antsy this early on.
Yeah, very tough break there as the caution is coming out quickly here. Short track racing at its finest, 140 laps. And honestly, Samuel, if they think smartly and race, they can knock off 140 laps pretty quickly. But if it's going to be a yellow flag caution fest, it's going to seem like it's going to take forever to get around here.
Oh, absolutely. It can take what feels like forever if you cannot get things cleaned up easily. This racetrack, I mean, Richmond, it's extremely bipolar at times. Some races you can go clean green without even seeing one yellow, and there's other races where it just feels like it's a never-ending cycle of just caution after caution. And that's why the phrase "caution breeding cautions" came around with short track racing. That's why all these drivers are hoping that they can clean things up. But up front, you got to say, for Kane Anderson and Cole Raz, they felt zero pressure on that restart. And I think we're going to see the same exact thing here on this restart that's coming up.
Lights will hopefully go off on the pace car this time by when they cycle back around. Northwest Racing Series, some of the best virtual drivers in Cup and Truck of the Pacific Northwest, ready to battle it out. And of course, we're glad you're joining us for iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland, Samuel Dyer alongside. Hey, by the way, don't forget the inaugural LSRTV Super Late Model Invitational is this Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Samuel, how about that? $500 to win. Whoever can survive a century grind around North Wilkesboro Speedway and the preliminary action that goes with it on Sunday night. It should be an awesome one.
It's going to be fantastic. I mean, some of the fastest drivers we've seen on LSRTV going to be all racing super late models at North Wilkesboro. And like you said, $500 on the line, and it's all on the winner. They want to get it done.
May the best driver win. It should be a good one. Field comes back to the Geico restart zone. His car is settled in. Green flag back in the air. And Anderson is gone. Checks up, pulls away from the field. Back there is Anderson. Raz, Smith, Garber, and Bloom in your top 5, working out lap number 7. And just as fast as we go green, Samuel, the cliche cautions, precautions ring true. Yellow flag, Ron Hunter, turn around in 22. It looks like it's a single truck accident. And we go under yellow for the second time. And by the way, just as fast as the green flag fell.
I know you were counting. You were thinking of Atlanta for a quick second there. How many more cautions were there? And just coming in, different braking zones. Some were checking up now, some not recognizing. And it's Ron Hunter that gets tossed around. And almost flipping some drivers late there.
There's Hunter. There's the pace car coming back around. There is your leaders. Obviously, Samuel, nobody's pitting right now. It's just too early. It's too early to pit.
I mean, some drivers are going to be coming in just to top off, just in case we go for a long green flag run. But the majority of drivers that are coming in at pit road, they're just coming in for damage repair. All drivers do have one fast repair to work with. There's only been one driver that's utilized that, and that's going to be Tyler King, who blew his engine on our first yellow. But the rest of the drivers, they still have that safety net of a fast repair if needed. But yeah, we got Will Duvall, Ron Hunter, and also that of seeing Stephen O'Hare all coming into pit road, trying to get repairs done to make sure that they at least have a running vehicle to take this next restart.
So a lot of racing left to go. As we mentioned, it's still early here tonight at Richmond. 9 of 140, round number 2, dirt at Bristol. Samuel, you're not going to be here next Thursday, maybe?
Hey, there's a high likelihood that I will not be there. I'm
feelings
gonna be
hurt.
I know. We were hoping that my schedule would work out, that I would be there. There's a chance I might not be. We're going to try our best though.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna will happen. So hopefully we can have you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be.
Go ahead.
I'm just wondering for these drivers that are up front, with all these cautions coming out. It's been a lot of the drivers in that of the top 25 to 30 range that have been having the major issues here. They've got to figure out how to be patient and recognize we got to stay green if you want to move forward. Otherwise, you're just damaging any chance of going forward.
Yeah, we'll settle up for the restart here as the lights will go off on the pace car this time by. No, they don't actually. Wow, we're still going to stay under. I was thinking we'd come to 1 to go, but Uh, we have a summary down at the bottom where we keep track of things throughout the night. And just for giggles, let's just put it up there for the get-go right now. 2 cautions in. Look at this. Look at it. Of 11 laps, Samuel, 8 have been under caution. And there's been 2 yellow flags.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's counting that we just are in lap that of 11. I think it's out of 10, technically. We've only ran 2 what you quote-unquote call green flag laps. And the reason why we're extending this is just to allow drivers that have not come into pit road, give them another opportunity that still need to get damage done. And also because of all the pit road that have been going on, they need drivers to catch up to the tail end of the field. There's 41 drivers that entered here tonight. So there's a lot of trucks that have to get in the right position before we go green. That's why we're extended, but the lights are off. We're going this time by, Wesley.
Certainly are. Almost that go time. Here they come. And keep your fingers crossed for no caution this time. Settles in. Ready for green. This time by. When the lights go off of the pace car, they're off of the back straightaway. We await the green flag. And again, as we said, still a lot of racing left to go here. Anderson Raz. Your broadcast coverage on live sim racing. You're listening on the Community Radio Network. Pace car in, green flag back in the air. They'll stack them up now, but a pull away by the front row. Then they're 2 by 2 by 2. Now the top 2 sell away. Single file, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's back underway off the back straightaway with Anderson leading off 2.
You're seeing the field pretty clean for now, and everyone's loving the fact that we're able to stay green at least out of 2. It's out of 4 when we saw our first yellow come out, as everyone's roaring in the back of the field, giving each other plenty of space. It's really that drivers that are battling around 15th that are really clustered up, as that of Caden Anderson is gone by over 3/10.
Let's try to settle in here and, without a doubt, get some laps in under our belt. That old cliche, Samuel. Oh, no. Oh, spoke too soon. It's my fault. Announcer jinx. Sorry. Caution time.
I think
Well, at least we got 2 or 3 completed this time before caution came out.
we've got a couple more. You know, each time a yellow comes out, maybe we'll get a couple of more each time.
Oh, wow, Samuel. I don't know if you heard about this, buddy, but it's breaking news. Took a little bit of time to get our samples back from the Extreme Dirt Car Outlaw Sprint Series non-wing event at Volusia during Speed Week. As a matter of fact, Valentine's Day is not a lucky day on St. Paddy's Day for Justin Grant. He had just got busted for having illegal tires at Volusia. All of his wins are stripped away.
Well, that is not what you want to be hearing on your when it's St. Pat. Obviously, his luck ran out with trying to get away with that. As we saw in the replay, that was Bryce Clark that had heavy front-end damage and contact as he's now made his way into pit road to get service done. But yeah, Wesley, that is some breaking news for, you know, you don't want to be caught cheating. And luckily, they did catch him. And that's what you get.
And Samuel, you want to talk about World Racing Group throwing the gauntlet at him? Listen to this. Disqualified from the event, person money stripped away, points money as well. He lost close to $6,620 in that. Plus, he is being fined $500 per tire that was illegal of the 7 tires that they done of 12. And a suspension for the next 2 events. They have just laid down the gauntlet on him, and I feel bad for Justin Grant. But as you all say, Samuel, if you do the crime, you got to do the time, as they say, right?
There's cause and effect. If you do something that you know or your team knows is cheating in some fashion, you get caught. You got to deal with, you know, what's going to happen afterwards, and there is the effect. And you know, you could feel bad about it, but it's going to happen.
And the only reason I kind of hinted on that and said something in regards to this is because obviously Thursday night we cover the 410 Power I non-wing sprints, and they're a lot like what the Extreme Outlaw sprints are. So, yeah, what a Wild decision there. All right, so let's settle back in here. We're still under caution. Welcome back to Richmond. This is the race that will never end with the yellow flag. We've had 3 in the last 18 laps. We've maybe have completed 6 of 18 laps under green flag.
Yeah,
and all the while, Caden Anderson leads. Go ahead, bud.
I would say 5 to 6 is a good range. I think where we're at with green flag laps that have been ran so far.
I was trying to round out. I wasn't very good at school on math, I excelled in public speaking and English.
Yeah, somehow I was good at math and they allowed me to be in the booth and able to talk. And I'm happy they allowed me to do so. I mean, it gives me a chance to watch great racing when we go green, as I know a lot of these drivers are hoping for it. But if the timing, Wesley, I'm trying to do, I just said I like quick math. Well, if we keep at this rate, there's a chance that these drivers might not be able to finish out this race. It might finish under time base. So there was something thrown out of, hey, let's clean this up because we have 2 hours of actual racing time to get this race finished under regulation.
Wow.
And they're hoping that they get it done.
Man, I certainly hope they do as well. Field will get ready to settle back up for restart. Anderson, Raz, Smith and Bloom, front 2 rows, Garber, West, Moore, Stabnow, and you also got White and Fining. Green flag back in the air. There's your top 10. 20 in of 140, 120 laps to go this time by. Caden Anderson once again back up in front, looking to try to sweep the northwest week of round 2 and turn 3.
And it's going to be seeing everyone up front, single filing out for now. But honestly, our whole entire front 10, this is exactly where they want to be. And to keep themselves neat and tidy. And this is probably the best restart we've seen from a lot of these drivers. But Casey Garber in that 94 truck, what a run it's been so far. Been trying to find a little bit of extra speed last season. I mean, from my point of view, I would say a disappointing season for the 94. Was wanting a little bit more speed. Starting out this season on the great note, currently in 5th position.
Watching them as they work their way around the racetrack. Another lap on the board here. There's Casey Garber. And sitting currently right now in that 5th position, 1.3 seconds back inside. And there you see everybody right now settling in side by side now. In front of Lowther is the battle going on between Chris White and Iverson. That's 11th and 12th. Other than that, they're all single file. Conga line on the outside lane here in Richmond going to turn 3. Let's get some laps off knocked away now, Samuel.
They're doing just that. Great job side-by-side racing that we're seeing here of these drivers 12th on back. With that, seeing some of these drivers, the way that they're racing, you got that of Troy Daggett in 10th place, then Chris White side-by-side. Then you got Cameron Iverson and Lowther there battling as well. And the big thing for a lot of these teams, they've got to get single file quick. The longer they stay side-by-side and out of sorts, the driver on the inside really burning up those tires, having to turn a little bit more into the corner. And for that of Chris White and also Dan Lowther, they are struggling, and that's why you see Troy Daggett pulling away as they almost went 3 wide with Paul Newton.
Field works their way back around the back straightaway. Oh, look at Paul Newton, a little scare there for a minute. He goes up the outside lane, ducks up behind the back of Iverson's truck. And all the while, Chris White battling back on the inside. Chris White unable to make the race the other week ago, unable to get in the server. And he had to start at the rear, and then he had to fight and claw his way into the race last week. We saw that at Daytona.
I mean, it was incredible to see the adversity they had to climb over, and honestly, did a pretty good job for the 6. I mean, for a lot of the drivers, they had to make that decision of, some having issues with getting the server last week. And see Angel Ortega still trying to be the official truck out on course, giving a scare to everybody. With that of also Clifford and Toby Ritter's on the outside for the 23 truck. And for a lot of these drivers, they're going to have to fight and claw even tonight. This is going to be a marathon. Yes, it's only 140 laps, but we've already seen this can be a grueling race. You're constantly on the brakes, back into the throttle, short track racing. Got to stay focused at all moments.
Certainly have to. Still a lot of racing left to go. The field will work their way back across into turn number 3 with Anderson leading the way. Patience is a virtue, short track racing anyhow, Jeff. And me and Jeff talk about it, me and Charles talk about it, Samuel. But the bottom line is, this is a totally different event from what we had at Daytona last week. This is where we're really going to see the skills of these drivers and their patience as well, because you want to be there at the end, but to be there at the end, you got to get there through the race to make it to the finish. Trouble car going around. It's Kynes in 713 below the bottom of the apron of turn 2. Caution is out, 4th time. It is Chris Kynes, and the yellow is out, Samuel. I spoke too soon.
We're getting a little greedy up in the booth. We see a little bit of green flag action, and we're like, hey, maybe we could take this for a little bit longer. But here's going to be Kynes a little bit aggressive into the corner and coming out on a throttle too soon, and those rear ends just already wanting to spin out. And kind of could tell that was something that was, in hindsight now we could see, but going into that corner was so aggressive. The rear end was already sliding, and as we take a look at it, we've ran half of these laps under yellow. 4th caution of the night. But for Kynes, he was needing some tires badly. For these drivers here tonight, they only have 3 extra sets in pit road. Question is, who wants to take a set here 31 laps in?
Paul Newton is who you're picking in the purple and black truck, the purple and pink truck, if you will. Paul Newton there in the machine truck number 81 that they're talking about. All right, 31 laps in. We're still under the caution flag. Still a lot of racing here left to go. And again, 4 yellow flags now. We got to reset them. Got to reset again.
Well, so we do have a couple of drivers deciding to come into pit road, and leading that group actually going to be Sean Bridesman deciding to come in with Carl Burke, as well as the 87 of Brett Rederer going to be coming in. And then you also got Frank Harris all going to be topping off with just getting fuel, a little bit of damage repair, and get back out there on track. Up front, still our front 2 of Caden Anderson, and really our whole entire front 7 have not changed positions. They're in the same spots that they qualified in.
That's exactly right. We're going to go side by side. You don't miss a thing of the action. We're on to caution. 30 laps in, coming up on 100 laps to go here. And remember, this is a quick race tonight at Richmond. We'll step away. This is iRacing on LSRTV. And for those that are listening also on CRN, the Community Radio Network, the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Samuel Wesley back here with you. Welcome back to coverage as we took 10 seconds of network ID on CRN. It's the top of the hour. Is midnight Eastern time. Samuel, I guess it's what, 9 o'clock Pacific Northwest for you?
We're 5 minutes out from 9 o'clock over here. Yeah, it's nice. It's we're over here. It's still a beautiful Thursday night so far on the West Coast.
Well, hey, today is officially Saint Day. So did you enjoy St. Patrick's Day? Are you wearing green? Obviously, you saw the broadcast when we were on the camera. We're not wearing green. We're wearing black.
We're wearing black, but I'm using green sticky notes. So I'm going to count that as that is my green. I'm writing all my notes down on a green sticky note. So I've got that. If I really need to, I'll just slap a green sticky note on me, and I can say I've got it on. But it's been a pretty good day for myself, watching some great racing and getting to see who's got some luck and who doesn't. And honestly, that's the one thing that's coming in tonight. It's who has that little bit of Irish luck to bring into the last bit. Will this race end in that of March 17th?
So listen, Samuel, I have one of these really nice Invicta watches, like, diver watches. And if you cut the lights off, the dials are green with the hand signals on the clock arms and all that. So technically, I am wearing green.
Oh, you got your glow-in-the-dark watch there for yourself?
I will, man. I said, look, and the light is it right here. Yeah. Oh, my camera's not on. That's why you can't see it. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Here you go. Look on the green dials. You see this? Look, right there. All right. Oh, what happened?
Well, right now we're getting ready to go on a restart.
Everything froze on my end. Oh, my goodness.
That's not good because we are green. It's going to be Caden Anderson and Cole Raz. Great launch as we're on lap 36 now of 140. Front two are gone. It's third place that's finding himself. Going to be that of Kevin Smith and Keith Gerber and Bloom side by side at 2.
Back underway here, lap number 36 of 140. Anderson jumps out in front. Anderson, Raz, 2 truck links back. There you see also Smith, Garber, and Bloom battling. So is Moore and West. They're side by side going back to turn 1 as we're approaching 100 to go.
And we're seeing the side-by-side racing. It's the drivers on the outside. The longer that it goes on, the better runs they're going to have on straightaways, and that's why Ryan Bloom's starting to get a further launch as Dennis Moore. He's been able to get a better center off in the 44. What a power move to make sure he stays in front of that of Dan West Jr.
38 of 140 now. Anderson has been the man out in front all day long so far. Raz, Bloom. How about Ryan Bloom, Samuel? You know, I was talking. Kevin Smith in trouble. Smith off the pace. 0-0 onto the pit lane. What's going on? Is this strategy to pit early, you think, maybe, Samuel, as we're approaching 100 to go?
It's potentially something like that. I'm looking to see if there's any penalties. There's no penalties on the 0-0. He just came into pit road. A very odd situation for Kevin Smith. And now he's going to have to either do a drive-through or just come straight to his box. I'll keep an eye on it as we move back up to the battle for 5th.
What did he do? That's the question. We'll keep an eye on that and try to find out for you what happened here, what penalty is about. Meanwhile, the race rolls on.
Went back Wesley.
Close it in.
Looked to be a drive-through penalty for that of the 0-0 for himself.
Gotcha. Well, we're definitely trying to track it and find out for you as we're approaching 100 laps to go, by the way. We're also 30 laps to halfway. It has been a yellow flag fiesta. If you're a fan of Taco Tuesday, yellow flag Banana Republic fiesta here tonight at Richmond virtually.
All noon, going to be still running and having one of his better runs at a short track as we drop back to see what's going on. Oh no, there goes Brian Reynolds, spun around for the 12.
Jack Daniels machine slams the inside, safer wall barrier up against the back straightaway. Caution lights come on for the 5th time. Yellow flag as he pulls away. Well, here we go again.
Good to see here drivers side by side, hard racing going on between themselves. It's just coming out of the corner, just coming up the 65 of seeing Cameron Iverson just getting into Reynolds, and blink of an eye, they're racing up there for that of the top 14th, and then seeing the 12, he's going right back to last.
How's that song go? Here we go, round and round. Yeah, that's what's just happened here. And hey, drivers are now, our competitors coming to the pit lane, working 42 laps, 43 laps now, and they're coming to the pits now, Samuel.
Yeah, we got...
What tire stop, you think?
Well, we got some drivers that are going to be coming in for all 4. As you see the 10th right side's going up. They both are going to go up and down. But what's shocking to me is we're going to be having ourselves over that of 13th, 14th, potentially even more drivers deciding to not come into pit road. We've got a lot of drivers that are playing strategy of track position over trying to get fresh tires, which is the one thing you can't always follow what the leader's doing. You got to change it up. And Jeff Stabnow, also Ryan Bloom, going to be your front runners that have not come into pit road. They've been out there on the same set of tires, fuel, this whole entire run. And they can be out there for still another 30 laps and feel comfortable. More so for the rest of, how do you want to set yourself up for the rest of the race? This is going to be interesting as Caden Anderson, Cole Raz, they're back in 13th and 14th position.
So a long way to go now, get under 100 laps to go. Ryan Bloom really racing hard. Samuel, we were talking about some of the upcoming guys, and that's who I was trying to reiterate on before we had that spin there with the driver of Brian Reynolds on the back straightaway. But Samuel Dyer has really, Ryan Bloom, ARCA champion last year, but I tell you, man, he's really stepped up his game, and I really think that Monster Energy number 25 Ford is going to win in the Cup or Truck Series this year, or maybe both.
Yeah, I mean, it's very highly likely that he could do both. This 25 has been very fast, as shown during qualifying, can be quick, but it's been the consistency of the long run pace that the 25 has been trying to work on over the offseason. Ryan Bloom, he certainly has something to show for it. Qualified in 4th. Again, that strong qualifying position, but it's the finish. Long run pace. What does he got?
And with that being said, the field will get ready to settle back for the restart. Don't forget, Monday, this upcoming Monday, Season 3 of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series continues. And yes, the Cup cars will be at Richmond, Dover in the coming weeks as well, Vegas, then Bristol on dirt, April 11th. So it's kind of crazy. The Cup race on dirt is later on than the truck race on dirt is. And I think it's pretty neat that they're keeping the schedules not in sync with one another, Samuel. I think that's really going to make you work on strategy too.
It helps on strategy. It also helps us. I mean, we get to see how the drivers are going to be changing things up on the end of, drivers are going to have to keep on their toes. You're not just staying at one track the whole entire week. You're going to be bouncing back and forth on what car you're running, because for the Cup side, it's a fixed setup league, meaning everyone's going to be in the same car where you just show up, you race that. But for the trucks end, these are open setup, meaning these drivers have all week, all off season to hone in, get the right tuning, and make sure they've got the best truck on their team to make sure they can go out for a win.
Field will settle their way back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out. And here we go again. Bloom taking advantage of the pit stops of everyone else. He did not. He's up in front. Stab now. His time to shine as well. Ritters is there to the inside. Ottenbacher, Daytona winner. You're on board with the back of his tailgate as he works off turn 4. And here comes, also behind him, Tidrick in 72.
And you see there the scraping off. Didn't even really read the 72 on that of BJ Tidrick. He is doing his best to stay low. Already battle wounds on these trucks, and they're going to do their best as yellow flag waves, front stretch incident. I think that's
Reynolds again. It's Reynolds again. He didn't have enough time wrecking on the back stretch. He wanted to wreck on the front stretch also, Samuel.
Caught up in another messy incident. He's going to be rounded out of Tyler King going into turn number 3. He just loses it on his own. Just got on the throttle too soon and loops it around.
Caution out. Brian Reynolds, 2 cautions in a row. Yellow flag number 6. Okay, Samuel, so does Bloom stab now? Daggett, do they pit now since they didn't pit the last time, or do you think they're going to stay out?
I think
right now, the answer is yes.
Yeah, they're staying out. You're banking on just making it to the halfway, turning this race into a one-stop. For the other drivers, they decide to come in, take tires, take fuel, and they're going to hope that they can race this thing to the end. For the drivers that are out front, such as Bloom, Stabnow, Daggett, and our whole entire top 7, their goal is to stay out until we get past halfway, then come into pit road, make their final pit stop, and then try to attack to the end of this race, because this could be a long one, and with the amount of pace laps and cautions we're having, it's allowing these drivers to save fuel so they can stay out even longer than they originally planned.
Don't forget, coming up at halfway, Samuel and I will give our mid-race report update of how things are going here tonight. Richmond for the Cup Series next Monday night, round 3. Round 3 next week will also be at Bristol at Dirt for the trucks. And that's going to be fun, okay? I'm telling you.
It's going to be madness.
I like the format. I like format, Samuel. You know what I'm saying, bud? You know, you don't do just qualifying and run the race. You qualify, you do your heat races, then you run a consi, then you go 200 laps or 150 laps for the trucks. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to next Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night's going to be a wild one. If Devin West shows up, he's going to be the odds-on favorite to watch out for. He swept the dirt for both Cup and trucks last season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. And if there's anyone else, I mean, we've got some newcomers that have gotten in. Drivers have got more practice at the dirt. Wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be some other surprise just front runners that come out of nowhere from maybe we didn't think that they had the extra speed. I'm expecting some of these drivers going to put some extra time to make sure they're quick. And I think if there's any driver that's based off of dirt, Wesley, I think both of us are eyeing that 85 truck Will Duvall, he's going to be the fast guy. He's known for dirt racing. We'll see if he can translate that as well.
Well, the lights are off on the pace car. Correction, they're not. Damn sunlight.
The sun's like that, eh?
It is.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, the glare comes out, and you get a big shout out to LSRTV Studios getting us that 4K action where the sun distracts us sometimes, and other times we just can't see because the sun's glare is that powerful.
At nighttime, we can honestly tell when the lights are off on the pace car. Yeah, okay. This time the lights are off. There you go. No more blinking in front of me. Yeah. And as you saw on Monday night with Justin, we have cameras on the pace car. You can ride with the pace car driver. You can have wrangles with the pace car. He can show the back view of the field behind him. Just some of the awesome work that Charles Wooten and Jeff Stabnow, Rocket Media do on a weekly basis. Don't forget tomorrow night, LTAC Cup Series and Samuel Nazareth. Where are they going to be? Triple M pulling Nazareth Series trucks. Where are they going to be at?
They're going to be at a track, that's for sure. I honestly don't have the schedule. I don't know.
Green flag back out, and here we go. Back straight away into 3. Bloom 3 wide. Look at this. Daytona winner. Ritters, Clifford, Burke coming after him. Also is Tendrick. They're back in the top 10.
They're going to be forcing a 3 wide in and out of turn 1. Drivers backing out, recognizing that's not where I want to be at all. And in the thick of all that pandemonium and just cluster and gaggle of cars, we're going to be seeing some other ones as drivers are having issues.
Oh,
it's
no.
cluster, it's a parking lot, and yellow flag waves.
Frank Harris. It's Frank Harris, Samuel. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and the pace truck spun out. Did you see the pace truck crash? Even the pace truck crashed.
Hey, don't get fooled. That's Angel Ortega, okay?
Is that Angel Ortega?
Yeah, that's Angel. Don't get fooled. We called it out earlier. It's the
he's upside down. Oh, Angel Ortega. Taco Tuesday, Taco Thursday with a flipper of guacamole to go with it. Okay, that made no damn sense. I'm sorry. All the while, I'm thinking the pace car. There's a pace car on the racetrack, not the pace truck. I for a second I had a relapse of we're doing a truck race. Yeah, the pace truck would be out there. No, it's a pace car.
Yeah, I mean, if we were on the dirt, then I would say, oh yeah, next week when we're at dirt track racing, that's when you're going to get extremely confused, Wesley. Because
I requested the powers that be. I requested the powers that be, Samuel, that they do away with the ability for him to have the pace truck for a wrap job.
Oh no, it's so amazing though.
That certainly is. Oh my goodness. Well, that's the way the mob flops, as they said. Caution out again. Ryan Bloom still the man out in front. Jeff Stabnow is in second. 58 of 140 laps. Still not done though, Samuel. Waiver round being given. What's your take of this race so far as we were getting ready to approach halfway?
Well, as we've been green, it seems to be that track position is the key. If you want to be up front, you want to be racing, make sure that your strategy calls figure out a way to be the leader or at least in the top 5. Because when you're in the top 5, there is not a lot of changing or movement that goes on these restarts. It's everyone from 6th on back. They're usually side by side. The carnage is going on there. But man, drivers with fresh tires felt that urge. You can send it. Go 3 wide. Go with any type of movement you want. And honestly, I'm not surprised by it. Also got a report from that of Jeff Stabnow's camp. Tire wear doesn't seem to be too bad, but that was about 15 laps ago. We've had a couple of green flag runs, wondering if anything, if we're going to see any other drivers have issues for themselves. But as these drivers getting stacked up, it gives us a little bit more time as the lights are still on. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a few.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Back underway here at Richmond, just on the restart. 62 of 140 laps. We're approaching halfway. And Ryan Bloom, Samuel, back up in front. There's Stab now. Daggett, what a run the 51 truck is having as well. Along with Lowther, Audenbacher, top 5. They're back to 2.
Yeah, it's going to be our top 6. Again, still have not pitted. It's going to be Sean Breitzman, and also that of Carl Berg and Katie Anderson. That of being 7th, 8th, and 9th as a quick yellow gets thrown out.
Oh. Wait for the storm to wait for the smoke to clear. Is it maybe Duval? Maybe Pulse Poppers instant replay. Watch the 85. Our producer Charles thinks it might be.
Oh, it just gets locked up.
Oh, did you just see Kevin Smith and Brian Reynolds for the 3rd caution in a row gets collected, but it kept on going that time.
Well, good thing for Brian Reynolds. We're short track racing, so they're slow enough that the damage isn't too bad, as the 12 still is not used to fast repair here tonight. Most of these drivers are waiting until they blow an engine before they get out there and decide to do anything too hectic and crazy. But oh, Wesley, laps just continue to tick away, and if anything, this could be helping those of Caden Anderson, Dennis Moore, Cole Raz, who have already pitted. Their fuel is looking good that they might not have to even come into pit road again because of the amount of yellows that have been coming out. For the drivers, though, of our top 6, they still need to come into pit road, and this is not looking good for them. Yes, they had that track position, but if we had stayed green, maybe then this strategy call would have worked out. We're probably going to have to see Ryan Bloom and Jeff Stabnow around lap 80 to 90. They're going to have to come to pit road just for the sake of getting fresh tires, unless these cautions continue at this rate. Then they might not even have to.
And my question is this, Samuel, how much time is left on the sim clock?
We still got plenty of time. We are about that of 18 minutes away from these drivers getting to the hour marker, so they're good as we're close to halfway. So it's because we've had those short green flag runs, and it hasn't been a yellow every single time we just go green. Looking at the way that we're going at this pace, we will be good to finish this race under regulation. Oh,
Ryan Bloom out in front, man. We'll keep an eye on that number 25 entry. The Monster Energy Ford. Strong run. Another truck of Ford alongside the LSRTV CRN entry from Billings, Montana. That is Jeff Stabnow. Troy Daggett, what a run for him in 51. 2x2x2. They're going to try to come back to the restart before halfway. Dan Lowther is alongside in 63. We're still under the LA flag, another lap or so. Well,
Wesley, I just heard over the driver radio, Jeff Stabnow feeling like he is good on fuel because of the amount of yellow flags that have been thrown. 24, feeling good that he is good on fuel, which means the rest of our top 6 might be all good on fuel. They might not even have to pit for this race, as there's been so many yellows that have been thrown out. Their tire wear isn't even that bad, meaning that for those that have already pitted, like Caden Anderson, and also for Cole Raz, they're still mired back in that of 9th and 12th position. They haven't moved up that many spots since they went into pit road 35 laps ago.
1 to go indication. Lights go off on the pace car, hopefully this time by. The flagman holds the yellow flag over the field. Field looks like they're getting up doubled. Doubling up 2 by 2. Lights are off. They'll come back green. Still a few more laps to the halfway mark. And so, Samuel, if Jeff Stabnow thinks he can go the distance, question is, can Ryan Bloom?
I've got a good sensation that the rest of the top 6 that are still out there, if Stabnow's good, that means the rest of the field's good, which means those that pitted, they've only got a 30-lap advantage on tires. Can they make that advantage stick, though?
Back underway, green flag. Bloom, Stabnow, Daggett, all in front. Lowther, what a run for Lowther as well, Samuel. We mentioned him.
And Lowther, Troy Daggett is right on board with 51. Both drivers that have still not pitted. Those top 6 drivers, that of Ryan Bloom, our leader, Jeff Stabnow, the battling going on for 3rd place, Dan Lowther, Troy Daggett, also Clifford of Toby Ritters, and John Ottenbacher, all drivers that have not pitted this race. The first of those that have pitted is going to be that of Sean Breisman, who just went for fuel on his 1 pit stop, but they are stacked up behind our Daytona winner, and it is chaos from 7th on back.
Mind you, watching them back underway. $71 of 140 laps.
And this is the important battle here, Wesley. You got that of Sean Breisman and also Caden Anderson. Anderson having 30-lap fresher tires than the most of the field. Is, oh boy, drifting up. Carl Burke almost putting that of Toby Ritters up into the outside wall.
No harm, no foul. They hold it together. We are at halfway. So we have passed the scheduled distance.
Oh, no.
And there's trouble again.
I think I saw the 22.
My,
yeah,
it's
Ron
Hunter. Again,
Oh.
Ron Hunter.
Also up front issues. As we take a look at this replay first.
Man, oh man.
Oh, drifting up ahead. That was Newton who then clips. And
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
There were 3 different spins going on there. And then immediately after this, struggles for our driver that was furthest ahead that already come to pit road. Sean Breisman caught up with an incident late after the yellow had come out. This is going to be putting us halfway for this race.
And that's heartbreak. $75 of 140 laps, just after halfway. There you see Ryan Bloom, still the man out in front. Jeff Stabnow, Dan Lowther. Contenders that for the most part have done really, really well. And Samuel, and I say this resurgence of seeing these drivers for years past that have struggled, and now seeing them get a chance to really hang up at the front of the pack is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tragic also of giving these drivers a breath of fresh air here tonight with the amount of cautions that came out so early on. It's allowed that of Dan Lowther to really be up front, even though what's crazy to think, Dan Lowther was involved in our first wreck of the day, and he stayed out as was dealt with all the damage that's collected onto the 63, still running in third place. And that other driver that was involved with that wreck was Jeff Stabnow, actually getting contact with the 63. It's been Ryan Bloom, that's the driver that was qualified up in our top 5, stayed in the top 5 for that positioning, but a few more drivers have decided to come into pit road. John Ottenbacher, as well as Toby Ritters, BJ Tidrick, Troy Daggett, all have decided to come into pit road. On top of that, with Ortega, Paul Newton, Tyler King, and still in pit road is Chris White, Sean Breitzman, and also that of Frank Harris.
And in addition to all of that other commentary that we were just talking about a few moments ago, we welcome you back here inside the broadcast booth. It is time for the LSRTV mid-race report for round 2 of the Northwest Racing Series trucks at Richmond. Your take of things so far, Samuel. We talked about these guys that are incoming drivers, and we've talked about guys that have struggled in the past. This has been a caution-filled race, but I still think we're not done seeing the fireworks just yet.
No, not at all. I think we're still in the point where drivers can dive bomb one another and certainly could bring out more yellows, but it just seems to be the real issue of drivers just coming in a little bit too much speed and just throwing their opportunities away into these corners, or just being collected with someone else's issues like we just saw there with Paul Newton coming in and collecting. So you're going to need some luck. I mean, that's really what the goal is here tonight. You're going to need that track position. Is your strategy going to work out? I think for the drivers up front, for that Bloom, Jeff Stabnow, and Dan Lowther, they're the 3 drivers that still have not pitted here tonight, and they're going to have to stay out, it looks like, if they want their strategy to work out, to have that track position over the freshness of tires.
Yeah, there's a talented bunch of guys, and we're seeing this so far right now. You know, anybody can still win this thing. I will say this, though, as we do get ready for the restart coming up, man, I'm rooting for Jeff Stabnow and even Ryan Bloom. The front row looks really, really good. I think this is going to be a fun time. That's been your LSR TV mid-race report. The pace car is about to come back onto the pit lane, and we're about to come back to Green Flag Racing here at Richmond as they settle back. Bloom quickly on the jump, gone. Samuel, you got to think, how strong is Ryan Bloom over Jeff Stabnow for that matter? And you know he's got to be hungry.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing they got to worry about, though, is the fact that Caden Anderson, who, again, has 30-lap fresher tires. Yes, there hasn't been a lot of Green Flag Racing action going on, but the 37 does have a slight advantage, and he just made the pass for that of third place. Same with Cole Raz. Those two are working together. Jeff Stabnow's going to be under pressure, but yellow flag waves again.
Oh, man, when it rained, yeah, here we go. Caution out again, trouble. Oh, it's Toby Ritters. And you know, Samuel, so disappointing. At one time, he was up in the top 5. Man.
Yeah, I think the main thing here, as we're going to take a full 12 hours since briefly run out officially, it could have been the fact that he just put on fresh tires. They're extremely cold, but they're 3 wide, and that's never a good thing to see, as there's a contact from the 93 hitting Toby Ritters, and then Ritters just gets finished off down onto the apron.
Yeah, that's heartbreak. Just cannot seem to get a break. When it rains, it pours, if you will. And there you see the end result again. Another yellow flag. Nobody's going to pit, though, do you think, Samuel? I really don't. I just don't see him pitting.
Well, only drivers that are going to be coming into pit road are those that are trying to get damage repair. That's going to be Tyler King that just came into pit road, Frank Harris, and Sean Breitzman all getting service done. Do you want to give an update on drivers further back? That is Scott Hutchinson has called it a night and has parked it. For that of Dana Rogers, going to be with a lot of penalties and damage early in this race, 8 laps down. With that of Ron Hunter and as well Brett Johnson, both going to be 1 lap down and hoping to get the lucky duck spot if possible for themselves to get back on the lead lap, as we still on track have 39 drivers.
That's exactly right. We'll try to settle back in and go one more time, if you will. Ryan Bloom, as well as Jeff Stabnow on the front row, and it's been that way for a while. At one time, it was, of course, Caden Anderson and Cole Rass. They pitted, by the way, and Samuel, they are right behind your front row.
Yeah, it's been more so of the drivers in front of Caden Anderson and Cole Raz have decided to come into pit road, gifting those positions before the majority of those top 6 I was talking about that didn't come to pit road decided to come in. Only Caden Anderson and Cole Raz were able to move up about that of 2 or 3 positions, even with the tire advantage that they had, showing that it was difficult for the 37 and the 10 to really make some passes. That dirty air lap, just traffic in general, very hard to make passes for themselves. So for Bloom, Stabnow, they're now at the point where they do not want to even think about coming into pit road. The track position too important to throw it away.
A lot of caution flags, bottom left of the monitor, and we'll show you the summary again of where we stand just after halfway by about 16 laps or so. Look at that. 47 caution laps, 1 lead change. That was the flip-flop between Anderson pitting and Ryan Bloom taking the lead. 10 caution flags, mind you, Samuel. We had 14 yellow flags in the Northwest Cup race at Atlanta on Friday. On Monday.
Oh, it's been a long couple of days for the Northwest Series. They were hoping that this would have been cleaned up just a little bit more coming into Richmond. But like I said, this track is so bipolar at times. There's some race days where it's clean green all the way through. And there's other nights where we get this type of action, where it is a struggle everywhere. And I think on top of that, Wesley, the factor of how many trucks are on track, that is another reason why we're seeing so many yellows being thrown out here today.
But we'll try this again. 2x2x2x2. Their kaleidoscope of colors here in the Commonwealth of the virtual Richmond Raceway. Working off turn number 4. Here they come. Green flag back out. And Ryan Bloom getting everybody asleep at the wheel from the back of the pack as they go to turn 1. Anderson, though. Caden Anderson, Samuel, making the move around Stabnow. Rass says, excuse me, coming through. I'll go with my friend Wingman and Goose into 1.
It's a big move there, and it's all on the struggle of just Stabnow not getting the restart that he wanted. And here comes Caden Anderson to the inside. And Ryan Bloom just gifting that positioning and trying to get a better launch out of the corner, potentially to hold off the 37, but it's just not worth it. As just like that, there he goes. It's 7:13. Slow, low, and almost bringing out a yellow.
Yeah, that's Keynes again. All the while, lead change, second one of the race. And Caden Anderson, the pole driver, back up in front again. He won the Cup race at Atlanta on Monday. He's trying to sweep Northwest competition in week 2, if you will. At least for the week. Wow, Ryan Bloom in the wall. Samuel, does Ryan Bloom got a problem? 25 in the fence off the front straightaway going to 1.
Just let the truck drift a little bit too high. Was trying to get plenty of room for Cole Rass to get by, and I think he just a little bit of lapse of judgment and focus there for just one moment. And instead of just giving away one position, he's given away over that of 5 to 10, almost 10 spots as riding on board 55 of Dan West Jr. getting by Ryan Bloom, and Bloom now back to 8th place for himself.
Shelton Washington, Dan West Jr. Watching him now. Dan, Ted, Devin. Devin West having a up and down start of the season for Northwest competition. Of course, there's the defending Truck Series champion, Dan West Jr. Brian Reynolds, it looks like, also trying to climb back up, getting around Iverson, if you will. as well as McDonald, the STP colors of the 43, as that goes on, getting around Cam back to 1.
Ooh, and
Whoa!
ways for a different incident.
I thought that was about to be an incident between McDonald and Tyler Kim. Oh my goodness, yellow flag out. Our producer Charles, he'll find it in the LSR Rocket Media production truck. We'll find what happened. Samuel, I will say, man, I'm impressed with the car counts the opening weeks for the Northwest Cup and Truck Series as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things with the Northwest is it always at the start. There are so many drivers that want to make it to the Daytona race, and then they get a sense and a feel of, I want to be here and race in this series. And then, like most league racing, it tapers off. There's some drivers that just lose that drive and motivation just because they've had multiple weeks of just bad luck. Others, they just don't feel comfortable and confident in the truck or the car anymore. They taper off, but we're excited to see 41 trucks hit the green here tonight. We're hoping we see 41 or even up to 43 again going into next week. And Bristol at dirt, that is going to be a wild one for these trucks to handle, especially with the, there's been a couple of updates since the last time these drivers raced on dirt in the trucks. It'll be interesting to see who's got their hands, who at least can handle the handful that these drivers in these trucks are going to be.
Well, I cannot believe it, but Cole Raz, Caden Anderson, Samuel, giving up track position and pitting again. Smart move, bad move, 45 laps to go. What you think, bud?
It certainly is a gutsy move. I don't know what made them feel like, hey, we need to come into pit road. I mean, this is something that's putting them back in traffic again, unless they feel like the advantage of tires now is so great. They're going to be having now that of 95 lap fresher tires than Jeff Stabnow and Dan Lowther. And so this could be an advantage for them. And also they're going to be finding themselves with, once more, 30 lap fresher tires than some other than those ahead. So it's one of those things where they got to be feeling that tires are more important than track position for Cole Raz and Caden Anderson, or they're just hoping to put on a show here, but they have certainly put themselves in the eye of the storm back there in 26th and 27th position.
Pace car works its way back around the front straightaway. They'll come back to the Geico restart zone next. A couple more laps under caution. Jeff Stabnow, he can go to the finish. Question is, Samuel, we know he's good on fuel. What about tires? What about tires?
That's the thing. We've had so many cautions, and it's been under pacing laps. Tires should be all right still. That's the thing that's been super surprising is for a lot of these drivers, yes, Jeff Stabnow was falling off just slightly, but those tires are still looking good. I'm curious now with Dennis Moore and also Kevin Smith how well they're going to be able to attack here in the early goings of this restart, because again, they still have a slight advantage as well over the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. But Jeff Stabnow, this is one of the first times we're going to be seeing him in the control vehicle on this restart. I'm wondering how good of a launch he's going to get, or will, wheel spin and those older tires be effective here?
We will certainly watch. And we'll also get ready for the restart as the lights are off on the pace car. 96 laps completed. Jeff Stabnow, Dennis Moore, Kevin Smith, Dan Lowther, Dean Moore, Stephen O'Hare, Robert Gamble, James Vining, Vinnie McDonald, Cameron Iverson, your top 10. Doubled up, ready to approach lap 143 laps tomorrow. Green flag, you got LTAC in, of course, NASRA. Big race on Sunday night with the LSRTV Super Late Model Invitational at North Wilkesboro. So we're not done with our coverage on your home for sim racing this week as we come back to green, Samuel. And Stabnow, big restart, probably the best of the night. He's gone.
That's the big thing. If you are the control car on these restarts, you can get massive launches on the go. And just like that, Jeff Stabnow going to be having over a half a second ahead. This is the battling going on, though, for fourth place. you're going to be seeing that of Stephen O'Hare, driver we haven't touched on a lot, had a very disappointing Daytona race last week. But the 41 making the charge forward as we drop back even further back for the battling that's side by side for those that are just inside of the top 10. Seeing Iverson, James Vining in that pink machine, having a great run, and Brian Reynolds finishing out your top 10. That 12 still being battered and bruised, hasn't used the fast repair yet, and wants to stay up front in the top 10.
Here comes the Catman. Pink and green, 333, 3 wide, rookie behind him. Brian Reynolds just got turned to the fence. Correction, not Reynolds, it's Newton, it's Ortega, it is Tedrick, it is Anderson, it is Burke. Readier. Big one just happened to the backstretch at Richmond. And the caution's out again for the 11th time, Samuel.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing here, this is the aftermath of drivers coming in. Caden Anderson, fresh tires, just carving his way through the middle of this pack, and then a hard contact for the 72. And everyone else, let's make it a gridlock as they pile in. And Bloom able to just skate on by. Same for that Horaz, but it's Caden Anderson, the worst of it, of the drivers that decided to put himself back in harm's way. And after this yellow here, Wesley, Paul Newton, BJ Tidrick, Caden Anderson, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, all require damage. They have to come into pit road.
Yeah, what do you call it? The meatball flag, if you will. So we are under the yellow flag. Now, the man that is out in front, Dennis Moore, Kevin Smith, Dan Lowther, Stephen O'Hare. We got to pay some bills. Thank our sponsors. We are back for the final 40 laps from Richmond, the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, as it looks like we might have some trucks coming to the pits maybe.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Welcome back to Richmond. Lap 103 completed, working lap 104. Samuel Dyer, Wesley Outland back here with you. iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network at coverage and 87.5 FM in the Johnston County, Wake County, North Carolina area. Well, Samuel, stab now. And I tell you somebody else, you mentioned him last week, bud. Dennis Moore. What a run for the Beaver State 44.
Yeah, Dennis Moore came into pit road after our 4th or 5th caution of the day and has not pitted. Same goes with that of Kevin Smith, going to be on that of 3rd positioning currently. Both those drivers, they are good on fuel and tires. And for Jeff Stabnow and Dan Lowther, both here in reports, they're good on fuel. Tires, they might be a little bit on the slower end, but they're too afraid to go back there in traffic. Just like what we saw our pole sitter caught up in that of damage and issues.
Field will make their way back to the Geico restart zone. Wagman is ready to unfurl it. The bottleneck to the traffic behind the leader. Stab now. What a launch away from everybody. Smith will take advantage of the mistake by Moore, Lowther, and look at this, Samuel. It looked like Moore just didn't fire, and it bottlenecked the outside front row.
That's the big thing. The outside lane just does not have a good indication on when the leader's going to take off on the inside. Whenever the leader's taking off, everyone on the inside's going. Outside's always going to be slightly delayed unless you're being told or counted down. As up front, Jeff Stab now, Smith, Moore, Lowther, and O'Hare. Your top 5 as the rest of the field. Still a gaggle of machines. Hoping to stay up the wall, and there goes one bouncing off.
Wow, that yellow truck bouncing off the wall, holds on. Still goes on to the race. Here they come off 4. Through the start-finish line, this 3/4 mile racetrack, if you will, here at Richmond. And it will not be denied.
Oh, Vining had a scary moment at it too. Thought he was going to loop it and throw it into the inside wall. Luckily kept it off, and we stay green. But Wesley, this is where a lot of the racing action's been sticking around. It's around our top 8 to 10th, where they have been side by side for the majority of this race.
Settling in on 30 laps to go here in a few more laps. You know, Samuel, Jeff Stabnow, that driver out of Billings, Montana, as we watch Gamble. Their Stabnow and Smith, though, hungry. Can you say hungry? He's got to be hungry. He's not won since, I believe it was Road America. No, I'm sorry. What was the race? It was Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, I believe, was the last Truck Series win he had on the Northwest Series. His last Cup win on Northwest was at the Roval at Charlotte in June of 2021. Or 2020, June of 2020. Had a bad season last year in Cup Truck. And Samuel, as you mentioned, maybe a couple of ARCA wins at Iowa, but that's it. Stabnow wants a Northwest win again.
Yeah, that was Iowa during the playoff action time when Jeff Stabnow was looking his strongest. Thought he was going to be able to get a win that week in the Cup and the Truck. Was not able to. As we continue to watch the battling between these drivers, Brian Reynolds as well as Iverson, continuing to stay side by side. But the driver that's on the move, it's the 10. And also you saw the black and teal is on Bunker, gets too tight, pushes up, almost taking out that of Toby Ritters, but it's going to be that of Cole Raz, Sean Bridesman. Those are the front 2 that are really on the move with fresh tires and climbing through this field.
Watching them here now in season 9 of this series for the Northwest, closing in on under 30 to go. Brian Reynolds in the middle. 3 wide, clearing him is Breitzman. And here on the wall, the cat and mouse game continues. Hermiston, Washington native, Kevin Smith, Dennis Moore right behind him in 44, coming after him hard, and so is Stephen O'Hare. All the while, Stabnow, half a second back leading, and caution is out. Closing in on 25 laps to go, and the yellow flag waves here at Richmond again.
And drivers piling in. You got some that are wrecked on the backstretch, blown engines and struggling. And after the yellow came out, also heard over the radio, might have been issues for John Ottenbacher. On top of that this is what brought out the initial yellow. And you see drivers spilling. That's Caden Anderson that gets into Will Duvall.
Oh, man. Oh, and Hunter got him to airborne. Oh, my goodness. Aaron Cooper involved. Hey, you guys stay back away from the catch fence if you don't mind, please.
What am I saying? If you're audience members out there, you don't want to be that close.
No. 25 laps to go here. Hey, Samuel, listen to this. Jeff Stabnow, all-time starter of the Northwest Truck Series. Tonight was his 333rd start. 56 poles. 37 wins. He's looking for his 38th win tonight in the trucks if he can pull it off. And obviously his most recent win, been a while. His most recent win.
Oh boy.
It was Mosport. Mosport, July 30th, 2020. In the trucks. That's how long it's been, Samuel. We mentioned the Roval at Charlotte, Mosport in Canada for the Truck Series for Jeff Stabnow.
I mean, for Jeff Stabnow, I mean, this has been, I mean, you think of last season, I mean, it was just bad luck after bad luck. Got pulled into the booth at one of the worst moments road course racing for himself, and
Hello, my fault.
ever since that moment, it's just been terrible. And he's hoping it changes here tonight, and it is an ultimate strategy call move. Still have not pitted this whole entire race. Is Jeff Stabnow and that of Dan Lowther. Jeff Stabnow leading this race. Dan back in that 6th position in the field. Just
Look at him driving below the apron. He's driving below the apron. Look
He's
at
just
this.
messing with them.
Wow. But he no, did it to the pace car driver. It was
Well, the big thing that's going on now, because we've had a couple of longer green flag runs, it is coast, clutch, get out front, clutch the car, let it coast as far as you can go, then punch it, and then let it coast once more. Clutch in the truck and trying to save fuel. This is what's going on with Jeff Stabnow. He said he was good, but that was if he was saving the whole entire time. There were enough caution flags coming out. That's why we're seeing the 24 do these odd movements under pacing right now. It is all about saving fuel.
And also, it's kind of mind games. Hey, I'm dropping down below the apron. I might be coming down to the pit lane, make everybody thinks he's pitting. And let's say we know he's doing this for real right now, but what if somebody thinks, oh man, he's got a pit. I'm going to pit behind him.
I don't think there's the only other driver that's thinking about pitting now might be Dan Lowther. I mean, that's it. Everyone else is done. Everyone, if you're coming to pit road, it's because you were caught up in a wreck and you might have a fast repair or you're trying to get damage repair done. There is no need for pitting anymore. If you put yourself too far back, that is basically just chalking up the race and saying, all right, well, I'm going with a top 30 race or a top 25. You've got to stay where you're at. No more pit stops from here on out. And I think for that of Jeff Stabnow, he's got to be banking also that we don't go into overtime.
21 laps to go. Come back to the Geico restart zone, which is right now. Green flag back in the air. And Stabnow, 3rd time in a row on a restart, has pulled away from Smith, away from Moore, from O'Hare, and also Lowther off turn 2.
Riding on board with the 44 of Dennis Moore, who has been just staying consistent, letting the other drivers race as hard as they want. And for the 44, he's got to keep his eyes also on his mirror. He's got that at the 41 of Stephen O'Hare, who's been looking pretty quick. And also back in 7th, the driver that's got some of the freshest tires out there, it's the 10 of Cole Raz that's trying to get on the move, but he's got a couple of walls, so he's now going to be forcing it down below. Good move there by Cole Raz, get by Dean Moore.
20 to go, now 19 to go, this time by the line. There is Lowther, there is also Raz. In the fence is also 40. It's like, oh my no. It's like Gamble, and also we got a truck with a problem up front straightaway, the 65. They're wrecking Aaron Cooper in the grass.
That's going to be Iverson and Aaron Cooper issues
Cameron
here.
Iverson. Here's your replay, Samuel.
I mean, they're already seeing issues of Cooper just slow, trying to get to the outside lane, and it's one of those things where you're just trying to survive, but gets collected, gets finished off, and Cooper just gets hit by the invisible 11.
Frank Harris.
And just like that, another quick caution. And if anything, this is helping Jeff Stabnow, but how much fuel can he truly save under these conditions? And also, did Kevin Smith make the pass for the yellow?
I think he did. They're saying Kevin Smith might be the leader, and Stabnow's pitting. Jeff Stabnow coming to the pit lane.
I mean, he tried as hard as he could to save fuel, and it was something that was almost looking impossible. Needed, those long green flag runs that we got little glimpses of. That was what cost Jeff Stabnow. If they continued at the rate that we were going with yellows at the start of this race, maybe Jeff Stabnow could have stayed out there, but he's now going to come into pit road, and this could be putting him all the way back to 29th.
If he pits, Samuel, stop and go, splash and go, or do you take a full pit stop, pit on 4 new tires, fill up the tank, and go back out there?
I mean,
give it all you got. What do you think?
You're taking 4 tires. There's no reason to go splash and go. You're already under speed from everyone else that's having advantage over you. As we take a replay here of the pass to take the lead, That forced Jeff Stabnow to go into pit road.
Fourth lead change of the race right here. Watch this one more time. Smith inside. Did he get him? Yep. This is off the corner before the calamity happened on the front straightaway. And Hermiston, Washington's Kevin Smith is now the man out in front.
Oh, man. Well, what's going to be putting Smith, Dennis Moore, O'Hare, and also Dan Lowther in a little bit more of a precarious spot is now Cole Raz is going to be the third truck on the inside. As the inside lane is exactly where the 10 wants to be to try to make some passes. He's got the freshest tires out there, so we'll see what Cole Raz could do here. But Dan Lowther, again, a driver that's been staying out, has not pitted. He was on the same strategy as Jeff Stabnow. Fuel could be something to watch out for that 63 if he somehow starts to flutter and not have enough coming to the end.
Oh, we're ready to see what these drivers can do here as it is shootout time. Tough break for Jeff Stabnow. We now have the driver of Kevin Smith out in front. Kevin Smith, we talked about drivers that you want to see him do well, you want to see him get successful, and he's just one of those. He has one win to his credit, Samuel, on the truck series, and of course that was a win at the Indianapolis Road Course on September 15th last year, 2021, at Indianapolis Road Course. He started on the pole, he won the race from the pole in a 45-lapper. But he better hold on tight because Richmond is a different animal. And he's got another hungry guy like Dennis Moore alongside of him. And Dennis Moore has never won. So we're going to watch these guys as we get ready for a restart, Samuel. It should be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, our front two hungry drivers coming from the ARCA series last season. And they came in, showed a lot of strength. And they honestly were the most improved drivers and drivers to watch out for to be hunting for a championship coming into this season. And right now they're showing why they were drivers to watch out for.
Dennis Moore also hasn't won this year. Most recent win, Homestead last year. He won at Homestead. He won also at Chicagoland, and he won also at Nashville. Never won a cup race is what I was meaning. I was trying to split up the stats from trucks to cup. As we get ready to go back to green, here comes Cole Raz. Raz trying to go after Moore. This is for third. Smith, 13 to go. 12 to go at the line for the 00. The battle for third goes on in turn one as well.
Big thing, stay green. That's what they're wanting. Is having issues, and they're going to be staying green for now. The incident off the racing surface, but in the middle of the pack, a lot of hard racing going on. You've got drivers with fresh tires trying to carve their way through this field. Those that are up front trying to just survive. There's James Vining in the big 333, with also Casey Garber who had a great qualifying run. But Wesley, these are drivers that are just outside of the top 10. They're trying their best to make any surge forward, but we're running out of laps, coming to 10 to go at the line.
10 laps remaining. Now there is Robert Campbell and Lowther for 6th and 7th going at it. Brian Reynolds, we talked to Dan Lowther the other night, Samuel, and that was like a win for him on the podium for the 63 car. Might be turning things around in the truck as well. Right now, solid top 10. He's in 7th. Reynolds, all his problems tonight, he's back behind him in 8th. And Audenbacher, the Daytona winner, another solid run in the top 10 with 10 to go here at Richmond.
I mean, Brian Reynolds, you think of the first half of this race, and it was all the 12 being spun around, just turning into a tosser. But now going to be in 8th position, trying to get by that of Dan Lowther. And Lowther, again, still going to pit road in hard contact for the 12. Here comes John Audenbacher to the inside.
Audenbacher trying to clear the road, if you will, making that move off the corner. Back across start finish. Look at Smith, he's out in front. Has not won since Indianapolis of last year. 3 wide in the bottom. The cat man, James Vining, under attack with Reynolds behind him. Bloom around him. And also Dan West Jr. That goes on in turn 3 with 8, now 7 to go at the line.
just the drivers with fresher tires. They're making their moves and grooves and going up ahead. As here's now Sean Reisman up to 4th. Going to be able to get by and make the move over Dennis Moore. Reisman's going to be another driver that's got some fresh rubber trying to make some moves. I'm looking, though, at the lap times. It is that of Kevin Smith. He is still the fastest truck on track, even though the advantage should be going to Cole Raz with the fresher tires.
Bottom of the apron. Oh, he didn't want to miss a spinning truck. What a move by Kevin Smith. And you saw our camera crew dead on it as trouble for the 713 of Keens. Yellow flag is out with 6 laps to go. Oh, my goodness, Samuel. Wow, what a move by Smith.
Oh, this is, might have been wearing his brown suit today. Was that of Kevin Smith with this one? Seeing the lead, such a large one, and it's the 713 just losing it on his own, and there's our leaders white weaving around. Barely any time to react.
I mean, yeah, that literally happened right in front of the leader. Watch this one more time. I'm board with Kevin Smith, or you're watching Kevin Smith on our Post Popper instant replay. Look at this. On board on the front, the top of the roof. This should be interesting.
All right. Oh, no. Please, and he gets around.
Wow. Can you say a cringing moment for the 00 just then?
Oh, absolutely.
And what a remarkable job to miss it.
And Wesley, now all eyes have to be on our ticker because we've seen these laps for caution laps be extended. It feels like the timing of that yellow was with that of 6 to 5 laps to go. So this could be putting us into overtime, but we're going to have to wait and see. If the lights don't go off this time by, we could be seeing ourselves going into overtime.
That's right. If the lights don't go out this time by, obviously they're going to go for overtime here in attempt number 1. And the verdict is on the pace car. No.
Well, we're going to overtime. Oh, man. Well,
here's the deal. If they would have gotten the lights off of the pace car, 3 to go, they'd have came back around with the pace car coming in. There would have been a 2-lap shootout on the scheduled distance of 140. But now they're probably going to come back to green flag on what? Lap 139, 140 maybe. So there is going to be an attempt at overtime.
Yeah.
Number 1.
And if we look at this, Cole Raz is going to be in a prime position. He's going to be in 3rd place, going to be starting right behind Kevin Smith. And for this overtime, if Kevin Smith being the control truck, we've seen these restarts for the leaders. They get such a massive lead over that of 3/10, which is basically 3 to 4 truck lengths. And with that big of a gap, it honestly can give Kevin Smith plenty of space and time to just pull away and not even have to worry about that of Cole Raz, who has fresher tires than him. I mean, before that yellow came out, Kevin Smith was the fastest truck on track, even with those that were stuck in traffic. As we are, Wesley, in overtime, 1 out of 2 attempts.
Pace car leads the field. It'll be 2 to go this time, Bob, but obviously they're going to reset here and try to go for overtime. Overtime is ready. 2 attempts will go like this. They'll come to the green. They get a caution before the white. They reset. We go again. 2nd attempt. They take the white flag. They race to the wreckers or checkers. They race to the finish. If the caution comes out before they take the white flag in their 2nd attempt, Samuel, just like real NASCAR, the field is frozen. Lights are off on the pace car now, by the way. The field is frozen at time of caution. And that is the finishing order for the race.
Now for Kevin Smith, also that for Stephen O'Hare, they're both on 95-lap old tires. Wheel spin could be a major factor on this restart. They got to make sure they get on the throttle cleanly. For Kevin Smith, he just needs to do exactly what he's done before. Get a clean restart, pull away, and don't let Raz get to your back bumper.
Don't look back. Cole Raz, Daytona Cup winner last Monday night. Anderson won Atlanta. Ottenbacher won Daytona last Thursday. Who's going to join him tonight? Green flag back out. We're in overtime. Number 1, pulling away, Kevin Smith. Raz pulls away and gets around O'Hare. Brightsman Moore, they're off turn 2.
Still a good run. Raz still has an opportunity here, but he's only going to have 2 more corners to do it, Wesley.
Working off turn 4 to the line. Race is official. White flag. CRN 1 to go. Kevin Smith looking for his 2nd career win in the Northwest Truck Series final time in turn 1.
Cole Raz didn't get a good launch out of turn 4, and it's all Smith. He's gone. It's too far back. Kevin Smith looking for Wesley.
Big wreck on the back straightaway. They're wrecking behind him like they're in the funny papers. But meanwhile, the man celebrated in the Commonwealth of Virtual Virginia is Kevin Smith. He will win round 2 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. His 2nd win, Kevin Smith. 0-0 out of Hermiston, Washington. 2nd spot, Cole Raz. Sean Brightsman will go for 3rd. And the celebration begins for Kevin Smith. You know, Samuel, he's going to burn it down, and we await the Northwest high five salute as well.
I mean, what a run from Kevin Smith. He was one of the drivers that just, I'm still baffled on the tire wear and the fact that he still was putting down that of 0.2 faster than everyone else. The clean air, that was one thing that stuck out to me, just having that clean air in front of him. Wasn't having to worry about tightness, but Cole Raz burning off too much rubber, trying to cut his way through the field for the 2nd time. And here they go, Wesley.
Oh, well, Dan West, he strikes out and hits the inside retaining wall. Let the celebration begin. The Northwest high five salute. Somebody has not took out the 0-0 just yet in the Click It RV Jags West Coast entry for 0-0. Here they come. Oh, pity for your thoughts, Chief. Lowther, good run for him tonight. It's like a virtual demolition derby, Samuel, as soon as the race is over. They race hard, and then they just tear them up.
Get all your frustration out after the race is done. If your truck or car still surviving, just, I should have won this race. Go hit the leader. That's honestly, this is the best way to just let drivers get that frustration out and just have a fun time after the race.
Yeah, like these 2 trucks just going nose to nose with one another. I mean, seriously. All right, here's your unofficial results at Richmond. What a fun time it was. Kevin Smith, the winner. Cole Raz is 2nd, Sean Brightsman 3rd. By the way, 2 different winners in 2 races on the season. Same for the Cup on Monday for the trucks as well with Ottenbacher and Smith. O'Hare is 4th, Dennis Moore is 5th. Robert Campbell 6th, Dan Lowther 7th, Toby Ritter's 8th, Garber 9th, and Ryan Bloom, ARCA champion last year in the top 10. 11th will find the driver, of course, of Troy Daggett, Caden Anderson, Carl Burke, PJ Tidrick, Roy Grundy, the top 15, Cameron Iverson, David Applegate, Ray Fournier, Chris White, Aaron Cooper, your top 20.
And then you got Jeff Stabnow only able to get up to 21st position with Dean Moore, Dan West Jr., John Ottenbacher, and that of James Vining going to be your top 25, with Eric Cox, Tyler Kim, as well as Brian Reynolds, that of Vinny McDonald's, and Angel Ortega going to be finishing out your top 30. And even more disappointment further down, you find that of Frank Harris, Ron Hunter, as well as Brett Jones, Bryce Clark, Dana Rogers, with Chris Kynes, as well as Paul Newton, Brett Ritter, as well as that of BJ Duvall, Tyler King, and our last driver that was out pretty early on, Scott Hutchinson, your 41st driver here tonight. And Wesley, it was a wild one, but it's Kevin Smith with the victory.
And coming up in just a few moments is the finish line post-race wrap-up. We will grab a quick word with our top 3 on the podium and wrap it up here at Richmond. You're listening to coverage and watching the Northwest iRacing Truck Series on iRacing on LSRTV and listening on the Community Radio Network at WCRN 87.5 FM. We are back in a moment to wrap things here in Virginia. All right, welcome back here to Richmond. It's time for the finish line post-race wrap-up. We're going to grab a word with our top three here on the podium and wrap things up here tonight at Richmond. Third place tonight, Sean Brightsman. Sean, man, this race, very interesting. Caution field, to say the least. You had some bumps and bruises along the way, but you survive on the podium. Your take of tonight?
Grateful to be on the podium. It was definitely an ugly race as far as cautions go. Great to see Kevin win. That was awesome. Good run by Cole and a lot of the people that stayed out and did some different strategies and all that. Just a bad taste there after seeing 74 caution laps.
I mean, Sean, watching you throughout this race, you were carving your way through this field pretty nicely when you just came into pit road. What made you feel like you had that edge to really make all the passes while moving up into the top three here tonight?
It's a setup actually. The team works pretty diligently on the setup. It may not happen every week or anything like that, but sometimes throwing together a set last minute works out really, really well. It really suited my style and the track tonight. So just a big shout out to the team and everybody that helps build the setup.
Well, buddy, they're wanting us to get off here quickly tonight. So before we let you go, man, thank your sponsors.
I just got to thank Bright's Boutique, LSRTV, Central Welding Supply, and Blender Sunglasses. Thank you, guys.
Of course, the driver out of Puyallup, Washington, now in Tucson, Arizona, the number 46 machine of Sean Brightsman. Runner-up in the race is going to be Cole Raz. Raz won Daytona last week in the Cup Series and, of course, settles for second here tonight. Cole, your take of this wild race. You kind of had to climb a mountain, got a little up in the front earlier, then kind of fell back, got back up at the end, and you settled for second.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. I feel like we were doing a little teeter-totter in the whole race. We're going from the front to the back, just going in on when we were thinking we were needing some tires. I know we didn't have many green flag laps, but I felt like tires were important enough. But obviously when, the rest of the field stays out, that doesn't help your case. So I felt like we had a good set for tonight. It was a strong truck, good points night. And, just chalk it up. It was a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, Cole, it was a strong night from your point of view and just seeing the speed from your team. What type of momentum can you take from tonight, even though I would imagine you felt like you had a winning truck to win here?
Yeah, I wouldn't go too far as saying winning. I think I needed to probably make a few more changes through practice to let the set come to me a little more. I think Caden was really quick. I think he was going to be the one to beat. I think just things fell out of his control when he was coming back through the field to be out of contention for that. But as far as momentum-wise, it's kind of hard to say. I think it's a positive that we had fast trucks, but, with the limited amount of racing we had, you just kind of got to, throw this one away and move on to the next one.
Yeah, just like Sean said, close to 75 laps of 140 under the yellow flag. So on to the next one, Cole. Thank your sponsors, man. Good job here tonight, second place.
Yeah, big thank you to LSRTV. Always enjoy talking to you guys. Sean, Jeff, everybody puts on the series. Gotta thank Wells Johnson, Master Wrench. Everybody helps me out on the real side, Jefferson Racing, the Caden Anderson Racing Camp, everybody that's in our group, on our team, and we'll see how Bristol Dirt goes.
Cole Raz will finish in the number 2 position here tonight at Richmond. Again, the Daytona Cup Series winner as well. And the Cup cars will be here at Richmond on Monday. Victory lane we go. Second win. I know this has got to be a special one. Road course racing is just obviously from the pole. You won that in Indianapolis, Kevin. But, man, you had to fight and claw for this one. Congratulations. Welcome back to Victory Lane. And that 00 truck looked really, really good tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It does feel good. Right off the bat, I got to thank my team. Ryan Bloom put a ton of time into this setup, and the truck was really, really good. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, really, all watching those last 30 laps, you were one of the fastest trucks out there, even on such old tires. Do you think it was just the setup, or was there something else you were doing trying to save those tires to where you had the fastest truck there at the end?
No, I wasn't saving. If you guys remember, I had to do a drive-through at the beginning of the race. I got caught the back, so I pitted and I took tires and I was hustling through there. So no, there was no saving. I almost. I don't like getting in the back of someone, and I almost a couple of times. Jeff was doing a really good job, Stab now, of running the bottom and backing me up in the corners, and almost got into him a couple times. And but yeah, no, just I had to just take deep breaths, get patient, and I knew I could get a run on Jeff. And at the end, it was just holding guys off. I mean, there were some guys behind me who had tires.
Kevin, final question, and also in segue, thank your sponsors as well, because we're going to jump off here early. This win for you in winning so early in the season, it's got to give you so much confidence in the Northwest Cup and Truck to feel great going into this season for 2022 and so many more months of racing ahead.
Yeah, it's good to get a win early. I would say I'm always confident, maybe sometimes a little overconfident and drive that way. But yeah, it feels good to get out ahead of it. Now I can go help my teammates and help them get wins. And as far as sponsors go, guys, I want to thank Click It RV out of Milton, Freewater, Oregon. So if anybody wants a travel trailer or fifth wheel or motorhome, come see us. West Coast Goalkeeping and Jags. And again, thanks, guys. You do a hell of a job on this program and these broadcasts.
Very welcome, man. When it's all said and done, Hermiston, Washington native, the driver of the 00, Kevin Smith, winning here tonight. Second different winner, John Ottenbacher at Daytona. Tonight it is Mr. Smith here at Richmond. Well, Samuel, we're going to jump off here. We're not going to go on camera. We're going to go ahead and end things real quick, man. But your final take of tonight at Richmond, what an exciting race it was. Caution field attrition. But, hey, that is the ingredient and the animal. That is short track racing at times.
It was a strategy call. Who could stay out front, have that track position? And at the end, we thought it was Stab now, but then he had to come in pit road and kind of gifted it to Kevin Smith with that fresh air. Those tires were still cooking, and they certainly had more speed in there. And for Smith, able to hold off Cole Raz is probably one of the most impressive things from my mind. But again, congratulations to Kevin Smith on this win. And now, I don't know if we're going to be cleaning it up or even getting even more dirty. I mean, we're going to get more dirty for sure, dirt track racing. But I just hope the racing action gets a little bit more cleaned up.
Dirty with the trucks at Bristol as well. Don't forget the Cup cars are for the Northwest Series at right here at Richmond on Monday night. And don't forget, we still got great coverage throughout the rest of the weekend. Tomorrow night, doubleheader. You got the NASCAR Triple M Pulling Truck Series and the LTAC Cup Series. Sunday, the inaugural live sim racing Super Late Model Invitational. 100 laps, $500 to win at North Wilkesboro. You don't want to miss it. So much other great things going on. LiveSimRacing.com. We are CRN.com as well with esports, baseball, softball coverage along the way this weekend as well. For everybody at Rocket Media and LSR